Welcome, beautiful souls. Happy Friday. Solara here. I hope you guys are doing well. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you so much for all of your love, your support, the way you support one another in the comment section and in the live chats. You guys are amazing. And I feel very blessed to be able to connect with such a beautiful bunch. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all the ways you sow into me. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your donations. Thank you to those of you who've sent me decks. Thank you to those of you that I've had the chance to work with one-to-one. I'm just feeling very my cup runneth over right now in beauty, and it's partly because of you. So I just wanted to say thank you. I am going to go into a reading that is based loosely on a dream I had and some downloads that came in the dream space. So, as you're probably aware, yesterday was this great, yesterday and the day before was this great kiss, this grand conjunction, right, between Venus and Jupiter, this great kiss between two planets that are really the two main contenders and portenders for wealth, right? For wealth, for abundance, and then we have Venus is love, but we also have that Jupiter energy is money, but it's luck, but it's also expansion of our faith. And then it's all supported by, the Jupiter and Neptunian energy that is very much alive with Pisces season 2. Well, I feel like that conjunction yesterday actually helped to loose a lot of divine contracts in more ways than one. So what my guides were showing me is that we've reached a point in the ascension where it's time for divine partners, if they're not already together, to come together. And not only is it time for that, but it's also time for those of you who have already been with your person for it to step to the next level of divinity within the context of your relationship. It's time for all of us to be upgraded in the area of love and partnerships. And but that's for those of you who that's part of your journey, or those of us who that's part of your journey, because there are some of us who get to a state of ascension and it's just like we're so happy being alone, and our journey forward doesn't always have to include a romantic partner. It can be a business partner, but either way, contractually, things that want to come towards you concerning love and abundance took a big shift yesterday. Let's put it that way. And my guides were sharing with me that some of the contracts with divine partners that maybe you knew, or people who you thought were your divine partners, there's been a shift, an energetic shift. For some people, their divine partners have not fulfilled their end of the contract. Okay, so as such, they are stuck in Karmicville. They're stuck, having to learn lessons again. But that doesn't mean you have to wait. I mean, if you want to wait and hope that they do the work, that's on you, right? But the beautiful thing about this path is that there's always a way that is made for as long as you're in alignment. And if part of your assignment here on the new earth is to help sew in new earth relationship dynamics by way of who you connect with romantically, if you're here to create or procreate with that person, provisions have always been made for you. And this is why I kind of like to stay away from this twin flame thinking, because what it's supposed to ultimately do is put people in situations of lack, whereby they think that if this one person doesn't get it together, they're doomed. And as far as I'm concerned, that's not true. As far as what my guides have shown me, that's not true. You might have many divine partners in one lifetime. I do not believe that our souls are split into two. I just don't believe it. It's not what I've been shown. Now, I'm always open to growth. I'll never say I'm 100% right about anything, because stuff is constantly changing. We're constantly expanding. Our consciousness is expanding and we're learning new things. But as far as I know, from what I've been shown, I don't think that's altogether accurate. I feel like that was a trap, to keep divine beings stuck in lack and trauma bonding and wounded cycles, okay? So as such, some of your contracts have been passed on over to divine partners who are ready to be with you and to ascend. And this window was opened by this grand conjunction, because whether or not the person you thought was ready to was your divine partner, if they haven't done the work that is required to seed these codes, the divine has made provision for you, okay? And what I was being shown is that there's been a lot of confusion energy flying around today. Before I get into the reading, there's been a lot of confusion energy and a lot of spell work, as always. And I will tell you the patterns and the energies I've noticed. But beyond that, what my guides were also showing me is that the confusion is also here because a lot of us are shifting timelines very rapidly. And when you shift a timeline very rapidly, oftentimes chaos will ensue because you're being moved out of one energy that you were secure in, energetically speaking, all the way forward into another one very quickly. So it's like some of us are literally traveling like through time, jumping timelines. And whenever you make a massive jump, there will always be the chaos to help to get you there. The towers that help to get you there. So that's what I've been feeling today also. A lot of glitching in the matrix because it feels like many people are timeline jumping at once. So that's exciting, right? What my guides have been showing me, and I probably won't delve into this tonight because I'm a little bit tired this week, but I will probably speak about it more as we move through this month and as we move closer to Aries season, because as we exit Pisces season, every single year we have this Alpha Omega gateway, this portal from the old into the new, the old year into the new, the old energy into the new, the graduation into the post, whatever happens post-graduation, right? When Pisces and Aries, Pisces being that Omega energy, Aries being the Alpha energy, they sync and open a gate. Every year this kind of happens energetically speaking, but this year is a really big deal because of where we are on the ascension path. And as such, my guides have been talking to me a lot about this Alpha Omega portal. But also what they've been showing me, I've been moving more into like, I don't want to say studying, but they've been showing me things that have to do with sacred geometry. And I was led to do a little bit of searching on the Vesica Pisces. And I didn't do much searching. They just showed me some things. And I was just like, oh, let me refresh my memory. And let's see what's coming through at this point on my journey. Because the last time I visited this symbol was like maybe 3 years ago when I was just beginning to get, you know, symbology and symbolism. And I was just beginning this leg of my ascension. And what they're showing me is the Vesica Pisces, as many of you might or might not know, the Vesica Pisces is where we get this whole the symbolism of the fish in Christianity, and it's born of like sacred geometry, and from this what we would look at as being a Venn diagram, the two overlapping circles, and that kind of fish-like energy in the center, which is also, well, it's the jaws of life. It's the vagina, right? That's really what it is also. So the Vesica Pisces energy is a portal, and there's something about the Pisces energy that's always been portal-like in energy. And I'm still unfurling and unwrapping this because, you know, I haven't gotten the full download yet. But there's something about this Vesica Pisces energy that has been, what can I say? It's been like powered up almost by this Jupiter Venus snogging session. And what that's done is it's brought new life to divine contracts. And there's more to this energy. I feel it. I know that they have to speak to me on it more. But this is what I want to share so far because it has to do with what we're dealing with right now. So as far as spell work is concerned, what I've been picking up on a lot is, as I said that, it was 10:10 on the timer and it's 23:04, so 234. Endings, beginnings, moving forward where we need to be going right now. The spell work I was feeling was a lot of, again, attempts to freeze. My guides were showing me, again, people trying to freeze you, trying to freeze us, trying to stop us, trying to stagnate us, but specifically freezing us. So a lot of like freezer and freezer type spell work happening right now, especially when it comes to the resources that want to come forth in order to bring you what you need to move forward swiftly. 234 energy to move forward swiftly. And now it's 23:05, so it's 5:5 energy. All of that's coming down. And what I'm seeing is that energy being thrown is returning directly to sender. It is, and all you're receiving, again, is a residual energy. So in other words, what my guides were showing me is that for most of you, it's not going to actually materialize in real time other than a hiccup here or there or something pausing for you for a second and then beginning again. So for example, if you get a notification that something that you're doing, you can't access it, and that's happened to you before, right? When you've had to deal with that energy and like a few seconds later you can, kind of thing. That's kind of what I've been picking up today, that kind of energy, like momentary pauses that are supposed to be grand freezes, but they're playing out in your reality as just like these momentary pauses, and they're just there to kind of show you what's happening, if that makes sense. I also feel like some of them have purposely sent entities. It's not just energy that they're throwing, they're like working with entities, and those entities are coming in, and as soon as you speak your words of power, they're gone. You get what I'm saying? Like they're coming and they can't even fully, the energy I'm getting is that they don't even want to be on the assignments that they're being sent on at this point. So I'm really getting more than anything like just petty annoyances. And again, that confusion energy, you might have been dealing with it with technology. That again is a mixture of the attacks of trying to slow you down, but also with the confusion and the chaos energy that has to come in order for you to timeline jump. So be aware of that, because they are aware that you are getting ready to jump timelines, and they know that the way that you jump a timeline is if the chaos comes, you buy into the lie that it's bad. And any chaotic energy that's occurring in your fields right now, for many of you, it's there in order to facilitate the timeline jump, the rapid timeline jump that you have been wanting to come into your life. So be aware of that. And this is especially to do with the area of finances and love, because we're dealing with a lot of Venusian energy. And of course, today is the day of Venus as I tape. So a lot of the attacks are there. What they were showing me, and so that's the spell work. Freezer spells, entities being sent that don't want to be there, and trying to play with your mind so you don't jump forward into a higher timeline. The dream I had was really interesting. I'm not going to share the dream. I just want to share some of the themes that were coming up. So in the dream, I was seeing a man, a beautiful man, but he was in a toilet. It was very interesting. He kept going back to sleep. And when he went back to sleep, he was in a toilet. And it's not like the toilet was huge, like man-size, but it was like whenever he got in the toilet, he fit in there perfectly. And he'd just sit there with his, like, sleep with his head on the right-hand side of the toilet. And, you know, I don't normally have dreams that are that abstract. I do from time to time, and when that happens, I really do pay attention. But what my guides began to show me is like, this is part of the spell that is breaking for those of you who, for your divine partners. So On the one hand, for some of you, this is the divine partner that is coming forth into your reality. They're waking up. But for others of you, this is not the divine partner coming forth. This is the one that you have to leave behind because they're stuck sleeping in the toilet. And when I asked my guys, like, what is it about? Why are they stuck sleeping in the toilet? And they started to show me some things. And if you have a sensitive stomach, this is probably the time when you want to tune out. But and when I say sensitive stomach, like if you have a problem with people talking about poop and feces and that kind of stuff, then this is the time where you're going to want to switch off. But there are forms of magic where people work with feces. They work with feces. They work with their own. They work with dog feces. They work with all manner, and each kind of poop has a different property, if you could put it that way. And there are also people who work with like poopy water. And the point of that is to keep people in wastelands, in waste spaces, stagnant spaces of waste, where everywhere. And when you think about waste, waste is what you no longer need. And when you have too much of it, it becomes your destruction. So when you think about your body and the waste, the metabolic waste that you produce on a daily basis, which isn't only by way of urination and defecation. In fact, the main way, the main way you excrete your metabolic waste is by way of your breath. That's where you get rid of most of the byproduct of everything your body does to support you and keep you alive. So when you think about the accumulation of waste in your system, that is ultimately what brings dis-ease and imbalance. It's what turns your body into a wasteland. It's what turns your body into a destruction site. It's what turns your body, 11:11 on my clock, it's what turns your body into a biohazard, right? And that biohazard energy it's not the first time it's come into my awareness. When I first began to do the work of like around the symbolism, one of the first things my guides began to show me was where somebody had done ritual work to bind my root chakra utilizing the power of a biohazard symbol. So this idea of getting us trapped in those kinds of symbols or those kinds of energies has been very prominent, and it's almost like they're bringing me back full circle now to show me what's been going on as far as divine partners it's been happening. So the magic that has been done around them, that is being undone right now, for as long as they choose to wake up and walk away. Not just wake up and then go back into the toilet, because that's what this dude did twice. As long as they wake up and walk away from the wasteland, they get to ascend. But this energy that they've been using towards divine partners has really been about trapping them in their own waste. And when you think about how that played out, how many of you had divine partners who were like dogs who kept returning to their own vomit? That's the energy. That's the energy, to keep them perpetually returning to their waste, literally, and accumulating more and also stagnating them. Because another energy they showed me, and this is because of what I've seen in my own experience, I had a person who tried to do spell work on me by when they came over to my house, when they were here, when they left the toilet. They left the toilet with poop in it, and they did it not once, which is how I knew for sure that I wasn't going. Oh, I took pictures both times so that nobody could tell me I was crazy. But the first time you can say it's a coincidence, but the second time when they come over and it's only for a few minutes and they do exactly the same shit, it's not a coincidence. It's spell work, and what it is it was a form of trying to stagnate someone on their path, using stagnant energies, waste energies, to bring waste and stagnation into someone's path. Okay, so those are the energies I was picking up. I want to say that in this dream, I also saw, like the sun rising, but it was rising very quickly. It was almost like time was speeding up. And I saw a boat in the sky in the dream, almost like that card in the Kipper deck, the Distant Horizons card. I saw a boat floating in the sky in the dream, and the sky seemed very different than in this world. It looked like the sky, but there was something different about it. And two signs that were of prominence in this dream were Cancer and Gemini. I was having a conversation in the dream with somebody, and they were a Cancer in the dream, but we were talking about Vedic astrology, and I was saying to them, in Vedic astrology, you're actually a true Gemini. And I don't even know why I was saying that in the dream, because I don't practice any forms of organized astrology, Western or Vedic. Like I know these things, but it's not something I would actually probably have a real conversation with people about. Like astronomically, yes, but to bring in the Vedic thing, I found to be very interesting. So maybe that's a message for someone here. Maybe there's a Hindu connection also. Yes. There's something about moving forward in love. Where do you want me to begin? Let's go into the energy oracle. Oh, you're saying that and the oracles of shadows and light. Which one first? Oracles of shadow and light first, and then the energy oracle. That's what I am hearing. I don't know exactly what message they're wanting to share with us now concerning this, whether it's more information as to why this happened. I will say whenever they tell me to go into the oracles of shadow and light, it's almost always to show either our shadow or fuckery that's happening to exploit it. So let's see. Okay. Well, I see winged seer, which means you see clearly, so I am on the right track. Okay, so Marie Masquerade came out, but she came out in reverse. Yeah, so this is further confirmation because we have the Violet Duchess coming out, stifled, bored, and stuck. So whatever stuck, stagnant energy was causing delay, it's being shifted with this Violet Duchess, and whatever energy that was sent against, these divine situations, it's being reversed. And maybe that's also part of the spell work. Maybe what I was noticing today was also the reversal of certain things that were happening energetically. Energy oracle next, right? We have number 18, which is the moon. What has been hidden that was stuck is no longer hidden, for one thing, and it's no longer stuck with that moon energy. What has been done by the moon to keep you stuck is no longer there. What's been done by the water to keep you stuck is no longer there. For many of you, this is also, oh my gosh, it's a mother energy with the 4th house. That Cancer energy is mother. The 3rd house, sibling, neighbors. Take it as it resonates, that Gemini energy. What actually came out is the 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel. Archangel Chamuel. I feel like a lot of the reason why this is happening is because of the removal of, remember I did that reading a few days ago about this entity that they had attached to the solar plexus. And it's interesting because it was that Gemini energy coming through in that reading too. And the reason the Gemini energy was coming through was because we were talking about, my guides were telling me that it had to do with going back into childhood to discover where your faith was lost by interactions with peers, siblings, and the authority figures who oversaw that. That can include neighbors, communities, things that you were involved with within groups that helped you to help to either validate or invalidate your value as a child. And that reading progressed to begin to show that there was some kind of scorpion-like scarab beetle entity attachment that had been placed on the solar plexus in order to keep you locked down, so you could only reach certain states of joy, and when you reached a certain level you'd be plummeted back down to begin to climb again. It's kind of like that myth of Sisyphus energy of pushing the huge ass rock up the cliff only for it to go psh, and have to do it all over again. It was like an energetic agreement or contract whereby this entity controlled that. And it feels like, especially with this full moon in Leo, where the attacks really began to pick up in Aquarius season, it feels like that corridor, the reason why the attacks were so heavy was because it was liberating the solar plexus. And as we move into the full moon in Virgo, your own authority and guardianship over your own solar plexus and your entire energy system, because it's like the solar plexus is your personal sun. Everything else revolves around that energy. It's the center of your light body. It's what powers you up. It's what powers up your stargate, which is your heart. And how my guides were showing it to me, this is how I referred to it at the end of the March energy report, was they were showing me like that through this full moon in Virgo, it's almost like we are getting access again to our own security system. So it's almost like if you think about a house security system, it's like you've been living in a house with a security system that you didn't have access to, but a whole bunch of other people had access to it. And at any given time, someone could enter your premises, do whatever they wanted in your home, and you'd be there, but there's nothing you could do. Or you weren't even aware, right? And now you've gained the codes back, you've gained the keys back, you've gained all of the keys back to all of the rooms, you've gained complete access to the security of your home. But in this case, your home is your first and only real home in this entire lifetime, and that is your body, your energy field. And there's something about, because of doing that, what they're showing me is it's almost like, like Care Bear energy. It's like you are now able to send out your true divine signal and frequency so that the things that are supposed to come towards you, when you send out your Batman signal, it can come to you now. It's pretty fucking cool, huh? We do have appreciation. This is also this energy of, well, for one thing, appreciation, the way I always see appreciation now is it's when you are able to grow in the fullness of who you are. It's about appreciation of your value. When I think about appreciation, I think about how they apply it to the financial market. And so when you are in intimate relationships, your intimate relationship should be helping you to appreciate in value, not depreciate. Okay? So if your relationships are not helping to bring out the best in you and helping you to expand and become more confident in yourself and walk more fully in your authenticity, light, and truth, then they're not actually helping you to appreciate in value. And there's something here about, it's an up level energy, 23 on my clock. It's an up level energy now. You've reached a point where your value can grow organically without that entity that every time you got to the top of the mountain, it threw you down again. There's that, the power of that has been broken. And it's like the reason why this divine partner can find his or her way back to you now, or their way back to you now, is because they can see the light. You are a working lighthouse, if that makes sense. Once upon a time, you were a lighthouse whose light wasn't on. And so those sailors at sea couldn't find you. But now your lighthouse, your light is on again, and it's shining brightly, and it's growing. And as your light grows, well, it helps you to grow in value, but it also helps you to put out the signal to draw more of that energy towards you that helps you to appreciate in value. So there's something about like huge blockages having been released in this corridor leading up to the full moon in Virgo that really has been happening for a while, but the crescendo occurred with the full moon in Leo, when it was time to take back ownership from that entity of your solar energy. And now those people who have done that are able to find others whose bellies are lit up. I knew there was a reason why I loved the Care Bears as a child. Where are we going now? Saying Moonology Oracle. I'm probably not going to make this reading very long tonight. I know I say that all the time, but I mean it this time. No, I do. I do. Oh my gosh, I put the deck down and look what two cards are peeking out from the bottom. Oh, there are three cards. So the two cards that I was seeing, and then I'll show you the third card, are action and yin and yang. Okay, so does this not look like this black horse is pursuing this white horse? I've never really looked at it like that before, but these two cards are cards that, like, they are very much about the balancing of dark and light, the balancing of yin and yang, the balancing of masculine and feminine. They can speak of union within and union without. But then we also have patience. But what I'm getting here, they said, look at the 16. So 16 is tower energy, but it's also a 7. So there's something about, well, of course this is happening in divine timing, but there's also a message here about all of this unfolding because of, it's because of your willingness to surrender. That's really what it is. It's because of your willingness to surrender. So for some of you, what I'm getting is a message. For some of you, this is coming in fast. For others of you, the energy is in your field, but you're still going to have to be patient because it's an issue of divine timing, allowing to pull all of this in together. Okay? But that yin and yang is also 22. So again, more energy of divine partnerships. And they just told me, look at the 3 and the 7 on this card, which equals 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter energy. But we have 3, which is the Empress in the tarot. So that is more Venusian energy. It's Libra and Taurus energy. And then we have the 7, which is the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. So there is something about many divine feminines, or those of you who are predominantly in your divine feminine energy, because it's the feminine energy that is, the way I've been shown, it's like the masculine energy activates the feminine energy to move forward. And the feminine energy, as we're healed in our feminine energy, it gives room for the masculine energy to rise and come on board. Hence the reason why in the tarot, it's the queen before the king. The feminine energy is the doorway for the masculine energy, the secondary masculine energy, let's put it that way, to come through. The primary masculine energy, that Ace of Wands energy, gets everything going, like the Aries, in order to activate the feminine energy that is needed to open the door for the masculine to actually arrive. Hope that makes sense. And I'm not, when I say masculine, I'm not purely talking about gender. I'm talking about the energies within, but how it plays out if you are on a journey where you are dealing with another person who you are in a romantic divine partnership with, or you're coming into union with that person. A lot of the time it is either the female, if you're in a heterosexual union, or it is the person who holds the most feminine energy, who leads the dynamic. The masculine activates her, we'll just say her for now. The feminine runs off with that activation and begins to open the doors, and then the masculine energy can arrive. The reason for that is because the feminine energy is what is connected to the intuition. The intuition is what must remove all that has been hidden in order for the masculine to see, in order to then move forward and take action. And this is the energy that occurs within as we come into inner union. And now what's happening is that for those of you who have come into inner union, it's about to play out physically for you. So you've seen beneath the darkness. You found your light enough to shine it out energetically. And now the predominant masculine energy, whether that's in another woman or another man, is now open to come towards you. I hope that makes sense. As I look at the bottom of the deck, a personal issue reaches resolution, the full moon in Cancer. So we got more of that Cancerian energy. Venus, the moon, and Jupiter. Yeah, this is what they're showing me with this card. Because the 3 is the Empress energy, that's Venus. 7 is Chariot, that's Moon. 3 plus 7 breaks down to a 10, that's the Wheel of Fortune, that's Jupiter energy. So there we have it again. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Full moon in Leo. So for some of you, this is showing me a few things. This is showing me that for some of you, this is a person who is finally woken up, that might be coming back into your energy. And if that's the case, you're being told not to let pride get in your way, okay? You're going to have to allow your ego to fall under full submission of your light. That's what I've decided I'm going to say from now on. I don't like this idea of people telling the ego to die. The ego doesn't need to die. The ego needs to be transformed enough that it takes its rightful position, which is in submission to your light and your power. But it's still needed, right? So don't let pride get in your way. This energy of pride, I think I've spoken about it before. Well, no, we definitely got into it with the Leviathan energy, but pride presents itself in 2 ways. So think about, if any of you know a Leo, I'm a Leo sun, by the way, but if you know Leos, then you know that they have very big hearts, and as such, they actually get hurt very easily. And the way a Leo will hide and lick its wounds is some of them will rise into arrogance and pride and pretend like what you've said and done doesn't ruffle their manes, right? But others will actually become like the cowardly lion in The Wizard of Oz, which means that then that's the energy of, that's the low end of pride. The high end of pride is the arrogance and the pretense. The low end of pride is that, oh, let me shrink down and let others just kind of walk all over me. You actually get that energy. It's very prominent in with Leo energy, although most of the time there's a lot of focus on the arrogant side, but both of them are actually forms of pride. And pride is not bad in and of itself. Pride is what you need in order to assert your value. But when it comes out of balance, then it can become arrogance or it can become complete self-betrayal. So for some of you, there's this energy of rising to the occasion, like the sun rising in the dream, like very quickly. Because we have a full moon in Capricorn, the end of a tough cycle approaches because of the heart, and yeah, the new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. So because of, a win-win outcome is forecast with the Libra energy. Because of the heartache of the past, either with this person, 23:33 on my clock, either with this person or just because of experiences you've had where you were not appreciated. Because of that, there might be a tendency to shrink back from the opportunity that wants to come in order to expand you and be surrounded with the energies that come forth from a person that actually sees your light and wants it to grow, and is actually stepping in to appreciate you in value. So that's kind of what I'm getting with this full moon in Leo, full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. This is also speaking to me. The Capricorn energy is devil energy, so it speaks about contracts. So there might be a little bit of fear around entering into a situation that is an old contract, like entering back into karmic energies. So make sure that you allow your light to guide your way, because when you are walking in attunement with this light that's coming forth, that has been dimmed in you for so long, you actually are able to see clearly for as long as you trust, because it's what illuminates your heart. It's what illuminates the true intentions of your heart. And a lot of what we were susceptible to in the past was not because we were dim-witted or because we were weak. It was because we were blinded, not like by light. We were not able to connect with the underlying energies, the childhood wounding that led us into certain situations, that led us into literally like the lion's den. But once you recover your solar plexus light, you are beginning to see clearly, and you are able to illuminate the truth of the intentions of your heart. A lot of the true intentions of your heart were hidden because your light was dimmed, and the solar plexus comes to shine in all aspects, but especially to give you access to your heart and your stargate, whereby you're able to see. You're able to see your intentions. You're able to see the intentions of others. You're able to make choices that are self-honoring, because you're being presented with the full picture, because you see, because you're healed. The solar plexus is only going to light up when you've done a great deal of inner child work that has given you access back to the light that's been lost. I hope I'm making sense. So, and then also, Archangel Chamuel is showing up here in golden energy. This is very big this week. Like, this Leo golden energy has been coming in very strongly for me this week. And the Leo energy has been coming in because there's something about, the last golden age was the age of Leo, right? So there's something about a lot of the codes needed to activate, the golden codes that many of us carry because we lived in that time. It's being activated now, right? But aside from that, Archangel Chamuel shows up in this deck with golden energy, but Archangel Chamuel will also show up in your reality in pink energy, like light pink energy, and sometimes even green, because Archangel Chamuel is also connected to the heart, very interconnected to both the solar plexus and the heart, the seat of our emotions, right? Or I should say the seats of our true emotional power. Archangel Chamuel helps us to reconnect to unconditional love. So this is all about the activations that are coming. Once again, I've spoken about this maybe yesterday, definitely before, but I think yesterday too, about how we are being helped back into a place of being able to love divinely as God, because once upon a time we did. And we've been striving to do that in a system that didn't support that. And now, because of the ascension and the energies that have been changing, and all of these activations, golden activations that have been coming through by way of the sun, which is also that Leo energy, to activate our solar power and deactivate all the entities, astral entities that were keeping it locked down, and to also deactivate all the energies, spells, people, situations, etc., that had a hand in keeping those entities alive. Because we're doing all of that, we're regaining access to our ability to love unconditionally without punishment. So up until now, it was hard to love unconditionally because everything in the matrix system meant that in order for you to survive and succeed, you had to make choices that would ultimately either hurt yourself or others. That's the way the matrix system was set up. There was no way to advance or succeed without wounding yourself or wounding others. And in that wounded energy and state, we don't have the capacity to love unconditionally. There are those of us who would try and it wasn't reciprocated because it wasn't able to flow. The energy system, it was like it's almost like, you know, when you get your phone updated to the new iOS and it can do other things, you know. Your phone has you have received all of the current upgrades needed for you to access this, whereas others have old operating systems, and because their technology is old, they don't even have the capacity at this point to get that iOS. They're going to have to get a whole new phone or computer or whatever. I hope I'm making sense. So now your system and the energies support your endeavors to love divinely. And this is why these new contracts are coming in. So this reading is almost like prepare yourself, prepare your heart, build your confidence now, step into faith that Jupiter and Venus energy is also, again, that energy of requiring you to dream again, dream big. You know, every single desire you have surrounding love outside of the wounded fairy tale that the Matrix used to feed us in order to keep us stuck in trauma bonds. The reason your soul connected with the fairy tale is because somewhere there is truth. Love that causes you to expand and make the birds sing and talk to you and have the trees speaking to you. That love exists. That is why it's called a universe. We are, once upon a time, the earth had a song. The earth had a song. Everything had a song. And we were in constant communion with the animals. And where do you think Disney got it from? Once upon a time, the earth was like that. And as we ascend, we are actually reconnecting with the ability to tune into that again. And when we're beginning to tune into that, it's because we're beginning to tune into oneness. We're tuning into love. We're tuning into a very specific frequency that only people who've gotten to this place where they've recovered the light that was dimmed in them are able to access. It's why you feel a lot of the time like you are literally living in like different channels. You might be sitting right next to another person, but they're tuned into a completely different channel. Because they are. They're not even able to access what it is you're thinking and you're feeling. They can't. And that's why if you try to articulate it to them, they look at you like you have 5 heads, or they don't get it, or they argue, because they are literally here, you know, vibrationally speaking, or not vibrationally speaking, in terms of frequency, they're here and you're up here, and you're asking them to reach a height that they just don't have access to, energetically speaking. So I think I'm gonna end there. I like this reading. I'm going to go into the Abundance Angels deck that one of you kindly gifted me with. My guides have been telling me that until they tell me not to, I should be finishing every single reading right now with one of these cards. That it's a season for us all to be growing, appreciating in our value. Because when we appreciate in our value, we call in everything that does that for us. Including, you know, divine partners, friendships, etc. As I shuffle and I go on the split, we have partnership. Partnership. Allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career. And both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. Yeah, there's someone coming in that's going to help you to appreciate and value. The energies that kept them away are no longer there. The spells, The blocks, they're gone. Release resentments about money. So what I'm getting here is, it's like, again, don't let pride get in your way. Release any resentment about the past, the bitterness, the things that occurred in the karmic cycles, and welcome in this new sacred energy that wants to come in now. So for some of you, that might be the work that you're being called to focus on as we move the full moon in Virgo, but also towards the new moon in Aries. Are you still holding on to any past resentments? Do you still have any roots of bitterness surrounding love and trust and all of those, that 2344 on my clock, all of those things that are so necessary in order to, have health in a relationship? Block out distractions. We had that come out again last night, didn't we? Yeah. Block out distractions. This is, again, it's the same energy but different presentation. So this is the energy of making yourself a priority in what it is you want to do. But in this reading, it's coming out more like make what it is you want moving forward a priority, and remove the blocks. Remove the energetic blocks that are keeping you there. But these blocks that you're dealing with are not the blocks that other people have thrown on your path anymore. This is the residual energy that's still within your own heart, within your own field. It's time to release any attachment to the past, especially when it came to certain outcomes and disappointment surrounding love, in order to allow the fullness of your recovered light to shine brightly and to call in the truth of what you want, as opposed to kind of like a somewhat tainted version, or delaying that. And when I say a somewhat tainted version, I mean that whatever you are holding in your energy field is magnified by your solar plexus and projected out into the world by way of your solar plexus and your heart, because it's illuminating your stargates. So it's time to be real about the areas in our lives where we hold ourselves back in love, or where we self-sabotage in love. And for those of you who this isn't about like romance, this is even about just partnerships, friendships, intimacy. Where are you, or have you in the past closed yourself down from someone truly seeing the fullness of you because of fear? Because we've all done it. No matter how confident we are, we've all done it, and it's time to like let someone love you, flaws and all, in all of your naked glory, no matter what that looks like. And as I say that to you, I don't say that as a person who has arrived at that place. I'm here having to do the work too. There's a lot of work that has to be done when you have constantly and consistently been told or treated like you're worthless. There's a lot of work to be done, but there's a lot of healing that's wanting to come forth now through our exchanges, but we have to let our guards down and open up our hearts. We have to open ourselves up to receive. So where are you still closing yourself off from being loved, from being appreciated? When someone comes to you with a compliment, do you still feel like you have to mirror back to them what they said? I mean, every now and again, that's fine, but as long as it's not out of duty. Many of us have been taught that, oh, somebody says you're pretty, oh my gosh, so are you, because you can't take a compliment and just let it be. You can't just let yourself be great in a moment. These are the tiny things that are actually indicative of the energy that you're holding. Even the, when somebody gives you a gift, or do you feel you're worthy of like if you have a business, for example, and you're making pricing, do you feel you're worthy of that pricing, or do you feel as if others aren't going to pay it? Where is your own sense of value? Are you aligning with the truth of your divine value now? Because here's the truth. Here's the truth. Your wisdom and the energy you've recovered, the light you've recovered, and the wisdom you've accrued by doing that is priceless. There's no price tag you could put on it that would ever be enough. There isn't. And that's the truth. But are you confident enough to make a price that matches what you're willing to receive based upon the fullness of knowing your own value versus depreciating yourself. Let go of guilt. Here we go. Sacral chakra energy. Let go of guilt. That's very tied into what I was just saying. Oh, my left ear is ringing. That's very tied into what I was just saying. The let go of guilt. You feel guilty for charging your worth, especially if you are a new earth being who is no longer part of the system and you're creating your own idea of what it is you're trying to build, or you are building rather, based upon your own gifts, talents, and powers. Let go of the guilt. So many of us, I know because I battle with this too. I love what I do so much. I love what I do so much. And I was doing what I was doing even before I was doing it professionally. I love what I do so much, and I love seeing people rise and break free out of this fuckery so much that I would do it for free. But I don't live in a world yet where that's possible. So I have to discipline myself sometimes too, like to do all things in balance, because I have to be replenished, I have to live, all of that stuff. As divine beings, it's all stuff that's about to start coming up for you if it hasn't already. These are new hurdles to get over, because a lot of you have just got such big hearts that you would do these things for nothing. And that's beautiful, but it has to be tempered and balanced. Like, how much of that is because you feel like you are in a state of depreciation? Because it's time to be appreciated. And it's time to put that energy out into the world. There's a huge difference between when you are confident about your value, other people are confident about your value. And when other people are confident about your value, your confidence in your own value begins to grow. And the confidence, which is again that solar plexus energy, is what is the door to helping you to fully bust out into your momentum. I hope that makes sense. So let go of guilt. Attracting, not chasing. Attracting, not chasing. This again is this energy of knowing your worth. Knowing your worth. You no longer, the matrix system always had people feeling as if they had to pursue something in order to find their value. But here's the thing. You are, and I spoke about this briefly in the reading yesterday towards the end too, you have such value that other people were purposely doing all manner of shit to devalue you in order to steal it. That's because you're one hell of a magnetic, charismatic being that draws these things towards you and other people that are in your company very easily. It's why for so many of you, people wanted to keep you in their groups and they didn't like you. They wanted to keep you in their family. They wanted to keep you in their friend group, and you knew these people couldn't stand your ass, but what was it? It was your energy to draw towards them what it was that they felt that they wanted or needed from the exchange. So, if that's the case and it worked for other people, we go back to this energy. If it worked to grow other people in their value vicariously through you, how much more powerful is it going to be now that it belongs to you? You were not sent here to chase after anything. Everything is here for you to, everything is designed, energetically speaking, when you are in correct alignment, everything you need at every point is supposed to just come onto your path. And the way that you walk on your path is that every activation that needs to come to bring that thing in, for as long as you're in divine alignment, it happens. It happens. This is what people start to tune into when they start to see synchronicities and everything begin to unfold. It's because they are in energetic alignment. They are divinely aligned with the truth of who they are. And when that happens, you're bringing everything back into oneness. And in that space, everywhere you need to be activated to get what you need, it happens. It's like you move seamlessly. You do it and you don't even realize it. Yeah. So that's what I have for you. I hope that it was an hour long still. I thought it was going to be shorter, but it never is. I hope this reading was helpful and insightful. If it was, please make sure to hit the like button. I welcome you and invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when I upload videos. For those of you who are still interested in the March 2023 energy report that I wrote for my Daily Alchemy members, it's an 8-page PDF report that looks at the energies of the major transits coming up and how to navigate those energies in the month of March. Please check out the community board. It is there. It's the second post on the community board that tells you how to gain access to that. If you would like to become a member of my Daily Alchemy members portal, where I produce 5 written pieces a week of channeled writing, plus any of the reports that I then bring to you guys for a suggested donation, that's already included in the Daily Alchemy members monthly subscription. So if you're interested, please check that out on my website. If you would like to work with me one-to-one, mentorship, etc., you can find all information about who I am and what I do on my website at solarah.info. All that information is in the description box below, as well as for those of you who want to donate or to purchase me a deck off my gift list. All that information is in the description box below. But I'm going to love you and leave you 23:55 on my clock. 5:55 is the perfect time to end. So I'm sending you so much love. I wish you so much, but I wish you every beautiful thing. Every beautiful thing, everything of beauty, everything that beautifies your life, expands your life, causes you to appreciate in value and wonder. Every beautiful thing under the sun, I hope, becomes yours. Until next time, be well.